She stole my life. She made me cuckoo. She's the reason I spent 4 years left in that health spa. That was rude. That was pretty fucking rude. And welcome back to another episode of Crips and Corks. I'm your host, DJ, here with my co-host,
Paul, as usual.
It feels like it's been a while.
It really does. I mean, it's only been like 2 weeks since we've recorded an episode, because we did John Wayne Gacy, as you guys know, all in one, for sure.
Yes, if you could not tell by the fact that we wore the same clothes, and I think I got more hungover as the episodes went on.
Yeah, I could tell. You weren't living your fantasy. You were not living your best life.
I was not. At all.
Speaking of which, I am not living my fantasy this week. Right now, these allergies, it's giving me the postnasal drip.
Real quick, move your chair up there. Somehow you always manage to press your chair up against the shelf, and it shakes as you talk.
Right. But these allergies are killing me, y'all.
Yes.
I got the postnasal drip, my throat hurts, I'm coughing up mucus. I feel so gross.
You don't look gross.
Thank you. I feel it. And you know how when you feel gross,
you do sound
feel like
gross, though.
I know, yeah.
Paul, for all of you, this comes out much later, but this is Mother's Day weekend. Paul has a mother, as mine is in the ground. So
I mean, you have a mother. She's just dead.
Yeah, exactly. But Paul's going to visit his mom, and so, he's like, do you want to come over on Friday night and just spend the night? So, he let me sleep over, and I'm, sleeping on his bottom bunk of his bunk beds, because, obviously Paul has bunk beds.
Right.
And the entire night, I can just hear him going, in his sleep.
Yeah, it's so gross. I feel so gross. But also, you be snoring, bitch. One thing about you is you snore.
You really just had to come at me. I agreed with you, and you come at me.
There's nothing wrong with snoring.
You're just like my grandmother.
I am just like your grandma.
Yeah, because I will always, whenever she says something I don't like, I go, and she does it right back at me, and it's like,
Side note, comment down below. Can you guys tell we're not wearing shoes? Does it bug you, or do you like seeing our bare feet?
My feet aren't bare. I have socks on, which I have a question for you, and I've seen this debate online.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still naked if you have socks on? Nothing else, just socks.
No, because you have clothes on. You have an article of clothing on. And if that's good enough for our local strip club, it's good enough for us.
That is true.
Yeah, they have a local strip club, and they're completely naked except for socks.
But actually, it's not a naked thing. It's actually a safety thing. Health and safety, because bare feet touching the bar top.
Oh.
But also, if they have socks on, it gives you a little more grip.
That makes sense. But also, speaking of which, sorry if I can talk today. I have once again brought misfortune on my family.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
This is the third time since you woke up this morning?
Yeah. I went on a speed dating event.
Oh, this.
Yeah, I went on a speed dating event, and how it worked is we were sitting at a table. There was 4 people to a table. They'd ask us a question. We'd answer it. Try and get to know everyone. And unfortunately, I was sitting at the table with the guy I was interested in, and I talk with my hands, as you guys know, and I accidentally spilled a drink on myself in front of everyone.
It could have been worse. You could have spilled a drink on him.
Yeah, that would have been a lot worse, yes. And it certainly did not help that the room got very, very quiet after that happened. Thankfully, the event organizer got me a rag and we got it all cleaned up, and I just had to sit there with wet jeans the rest of the night. But
I swear, I spilled a drink. I didn't pee myself.
Right, exactly. It was very that. And then, needless to say, I did not get... Well, I got the Instagram. I got his Instagram, but he did not respond. I did get ghosted. And I did get someone else's Instagram, but he did proceed to tell me that I was not butch enough. I'm not masculine enough for him. He said he's looking for someone who looks like Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec.
Were those his exact words?
Yes. And honestly, I should have known when I went over to their table and they kept bringing up Ron Swanson. I thought it was a little weird that they kept bringing up Ron Swanson. But I guess he told that table that was his celebrity crush was Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, but here we are.
It's giving that girl on TikTok who thinks she's dating the cartoon character for some reason.
I don't know about all that. Like, he just wants a guy who looks like that.
I know, but just like the obsessively bringing it up multiple times.
Yeah, the crush is real. It's very, very real.
I'm shifting. I'm in the Pawnee City Hall.
Girl. Okay. Anyway, how was your week?
My week was fine. I'm trying to think. I had something to tell you, and I can't recall now. This happens every time. I think I want to talk about this on the podcast. And then... Oh, well, I'm going to give my time back to the chair.
To the chair?
To the chair. And because we have a very special announcement. We are having another live show.
Oh, yes. We are having another live show.
Jesus, Paul.
We did travel all the way to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. We stayed in the legendary Farnsworth Inn, the most haunted place in Gettysburg, overnight. We investigated, and we got some video. We have photos. We have evidence to share with you all, live and in person, or online tickets if you'd prefer that. And this event is BYOB again, yes. For sure.
It's going to be at the Paduti Podcast Theater once again. We're going to drop the link in our description. So if you want to come in person, awesome. Bring your own bottle. If you want to watch from home, also totally awesome. And you can BYOB in home without paying the extra. Gettysburg is one of those places where, like, there were just, like, so many insufferable dads wearing, the strappy Jesus sandals and socks.
Yeah.
Cargo shorts. A t-shirt for a beer company.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, a ball cap for, like, not a sports team, but a sporting event that happened. Not in his youth, but not... also recently.
Right.
It's like a 2005 Masters ball cap.
Right. Yeah, there was a lot of mansplaining going... Sorry. There was a lot of mansplaining going on to wives. It was... Yeah, I feel bad for all the wives there, honestly. And honestly, I was the wife there because I'm not a history girly. DJ is... And also, I do promise that this show is not going to be history heavy, okay?
No.
It's going to be comedy. It's going to be investigation. It's going to be spooky. It's going to be something you guys haven't seen from us yet. There's going to be a lot of cool things happening at this live show. And it's definitely something you guys are not going to want to miss. So go ahead and get your tickets for June 21st.
June 21st.
June 21st.
At 7 p.m. It is earlier than the last one. It's an hour earlier. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Do you have anything for Pop Culture Corner?
Well, I guess this week is really your pop culture moment because we do have a new pope.
We do have a new pope. He hates Trump, which means I love him.
Yes, I mean, he's still not gay friendly, so still not standing. And will
Has
he ever
he said that?
There's lots of articles about it, like him not being gay friendly. So... But what can we expect, you know? We can't have
You can't have a Pope Francis every time.
Yep.
And
exactly.
honestly, it could have been a lot worse because, just, like, briefly, look, John Paul II was, like, a progressive pope.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he died, we got Benedict XVI, who was very conservative, and he, like, walked back a lot of the progression that happened over the pontificate of John Paul II. And then we got a really liberal pope in Pope Francis. So it could have been a lot worse where we got a very conservative pope who walked back everything, whereas Pope Leo XIV is a centrist, where he is a little more conservative on things, but he's still fairly progressive, and he's not going to like start walking back crazy shit.
Hopefully not. But either way, the Pope doesn't affect my life, so.
No.
How do you feel?
I'm stoked. I mean, I loved watching it. It felt really... I don't know. I love watching, like, royal weddings or, like, the president's inauguration. But especially this because there's this feeling of oneness where it's like, I'm watching that chimney on my TV here in Pittsburgh, but also there's people in Beijing and St. Petersburg, Russia, and Nairobi, Kenya, and Sydney, Australia, and in Colombia, all waiting and watching at the same time. And there's just this feeling of oneness that we all get to participate this together that's just, like, really powerful.
That's a cute thought. It's like the Drag Race finale, or...
Yeah.
Or really any, like, reality show finale. Like,
If
everyone's,
it's live.
like, on the... Right, if it's live, of
If
course,
it's live,
yes.
yeah, it has to be live.
Yeah, it's like everyone's on the edge of their seats waiting and, like, everything. I get what you mean, for sure. Do you have anything to add about the Pope?
No.
Alrighty, before we wrap up today's Pop Culture Corner, I just wanted to say again, in case anyone was confused out there on my opinion and where I stand, I just have to set the record straight one more time, because I feel like there's been some confusion online, and I've seen your comments, I've seen the videos, I've seen the tweets, and I do have to just say one more time, I do stan Benson Boone, okay?
Oh.
He is the song of the summer. Mystical Magical is the song of the summer, and I know there's been a lot of controversy about it, and people are like, Paul, what are we doing with Benson Boone? We're stanning. That's what we're doing, okay? So get into Benson Boone. We are letting this white boy catch a vibe, okay? He's the only one allowed, okay? Because he did that whole thing for Freddie Mercury, okay? Now, until the day it comes out that he doesn't like gay people, we're stanning, okay? So we're getting into Benson Boone this summer, and that's just what we're doing. Until he maybe gets canceled for something. But until that moment, we're stanning.
I do have a PSA, though.
Okay.
This is what I wanted to talk about. It came to me.
Okay.
Paul and I are not dating.
Yes.
We went on one date, but we have never dated. We are not going to date. So please, if you're one of the people who have asked me over the course of the last 2 weeks why Paul and I don't just date, we're just friends. This is like asking why you don't just date one of your friends.
Exactly. We're just best friends, girl. Get over it.
And this is not a shtick. We're not pretending not to date for views. Honestly, if anything, we would pretend to date for the views. I'm looking at you, Nikki and Pierre.
Yeah, and this isn't a Dan and Phil moment, okay? It's not happening later down the line. It's not happening. We are not romantically compatible at all. Or, like, there's just so many compatibilities that aren't there besides friendship and comedy and business.
Yes,
and best friends and spooky things. That's all that's there.
But
have a lot of people been asking you that?
A couple of people have been like, it's been like little thing. Like, it started like innocuous. Like, a friend of mine was like, oh, we should do a double date. Me and my boyfriend and you and Paul. And I was like, why would I bring Paul to a double date?
Right.
And she was like, well, are you dating anyone? I was like, no. And she was like, well, just bring Paul. And I was like, well, then don't call it a double date.
Right. Be like, it's girls hanging out. We're friends. We're dolls doing doll things.
And honestly, if I'm bringing Paul to this, I don't want you to bring your boyfriend because, like, it's just the girls hanging out.
It's the girls and the dolls.
And then I've also been getting comments, like, from, like, people where it's like, oh, I wish I had a boyfriend. Why don't you and Paul just date? You'd make such a cute couple.
Honestly, it sounds like, why don't you just give up?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Why don't you just give up and settle for each other?
Which, Paul and I do have an agreement that if we don't get married, We're just going to live in the retirement home together.
With our friend Dan,
Yeah, no marriage. It's just, we're all going to be put in the same retirement home.
Yeah.
Rooms right in a row.
We're going to be the Golden Gays.
Yes.
The three of us. It's going to be
mid-century modern.
Yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be cool. It'll be interesting. But anything else to add?
Nope. We're going to get into the story.
Okay.
So I'm going to do the introduction and then we can drink. Okay. Because it goes together.
This is kind of interesting. We've never done the interesting, like, the drink before the intro.
We tried at the beginning and then we, like, walked it back.
Okay, well, let's see how this goes. Because DJ says he has a surprise for me, so we're going to see how this goes, y'all.
Yes. Paul, let me tell you a story.
Let's get into it, y'all.
Awful, grisly, grotesque, hideous, horrid, unseemly, unsightly. No, these are not words used to describe Paul. Well, they are words used to describe Paul, but we're not talking about Paul today. Instead, we are talking about the homeliest of creatures, who cries constantly at its own ugliness and unlovableness. Again, we're not talking about Paul, even though this is a good description of Paul. We're actually talking about the ugliest and saddest of all cryptids, after Paul. The Squonk.
You bitch. You bitch. You're lucky we're on camera, because if this was off camera, I would be bad girls clubbing it up, bitch. I would fuck your life up, girl.
If you were doing this, you can't tell me you wouldn't do the same.
Girl, I mean, I probably wouldn't have thought of it, but okay, you got me. Okay, that was funny. That was a good intro. Now,
I don't mean it. It was just... My intros have been lacking recently, so I had to, come back hard and strong.
Now, I will say, before we get into the Squonk, be careful listening to this episode, because DJ is going to be putting a lot of propaganda in here. He wants everyone to love the Squonk. Just yesterday, he said, "You love the Squonk?" And I was like, "Maybe I don't." And he said, "I said you love the Squonk." So he is trying to force the masses into loving this cryptid. Come with your own eyes, ears, do your own fact-checking. Don't believe everything he says, because this is about to be an episode full of propaganda promoting the Squonk, and I am not here for it. I will not stand for the misinformation. I will not stand for the propaganda, and I will be here for you guys, okay? We are going to go through this journey together, and we are going to make our facts and opinions ourselves, okay? We will form our opinions ourselves, separate from DJ's propaganda. Okay?
Okay.
Cool.
Today we're going to be drinking Squonk's Tears.
Squonk's Tears?
Cheers!
Okay, this is weird. This looks like water. Should I be concerned? Like, what's going on?
Nothing?
No. Should I be concerned? Do I need to drink it? You're making me super nervous.
It's supposed to be salt water.
Oh, there's salt in here?
Yeah, I think it sat too long. All the salt went to the bottom.
Okay. Okay, I get what you did there. Because DJ made this drink when I wasn't watching. Okay, so I get the salt water. The tears are salty. All that jazz. Okay.
Shit. I wanted you to, do a spit take on camera.
You should have put a lot more salt in there then.
You only have a salt grinder. I was trying to be sneaky.
Oh my god.
What I should have done is put all the salt in yours.
Probably, yeah.
But I was like, no, this is an equal opportunity podcast.
We are equal opportunity. Tell your friends.
Okay, let's get into the actual pairing for today.
Okay, what are we drinking besides the Squonk Tears? The Tears of the Squonk. Which, side note, are you using the Tears of Squonk as lube?
No.
Are you letting the Squonk cry
We'll
on
talk
you?
about the Squonk Tears later. So we're going to be drinking Bach Chardonnay because there's just something about crying over your own ugliness and a Bach Chardonnay that goes so well together.
Sounds like you know something about that, girl.
I've been squonking a lot this week.
Oh, I squonk all the time.
Can you hold the glass while I...
I'm squonking right now. I'm about to squonk all over you. I can smell this wine from here. I don't know how this wine is going to agree with my allergies.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. I'll give it like 3 grapes, which is being generous. It's not my favorite, but also Chardonnay is not my favorite. The whole buttery thing doesn't really do it for me.
I like a Chardonnay, but I like an oakier Chardonnay. That's a little too sweet.
Yeah, I don't like the buttery Chardonnays.
I didn't get a buttery Chardonnay. I just got Chardonnay.
It's giving buttery for me.
Or as they say in France, Cardonnay.
Cardonnay.
Cardonnay, you pack of shunts.
Oh my god. Okay.
Do you get what it's...
Is that from Kath and Kim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chardonnay, you pack of shunts.
Yeah, I've been watching Kath and Kim a lot.
Alright, let's get into the Squonk. The Squonk is a cryptid said to live in the hemlock forests of northern Pennsylvania.
Hometown pride, home state pride, let's go.
Now, it should be noted that these hemlock forests, the hemlock in it is of no relation to the poisonous plant that famously killed the Greek philosopher Socrates.
Well, thank you for clearing that up, because I was nervous.
Well, some people hear hemlock and they think poison.
Oh.
These are more like... It's a type of pine tree. Paul knows something about a pine tree.
I do.
All that naughty pine.
I'm always pining after something.
Not wrong. The eastern hemlock is actually the state tree of Pennsylvania, and the state at one time was covered with them, and they were a major source of the lumber industry in early America. The lumberjacks who came to fell the trees were the ones who discovered the squonk.
Oh, the lumberjacks.
The lumberjacks found the squonk.
That's kind of hot. I bet the squonk saw the lumberjacks and he said, "Ooh, daddy, okay, let me not be sad anymore. Let me go show my little squonkussy. Let me get up with these lumberjacks. You want to say, here, little lumberjack? You've been away from your wife for a while. You want a good time? You want to see what the squonk's all about? You can use my tears as lube.
Want to rub in my folds." The squonk is described as being exceptionally ugly. It has loose, ill-fitting skin. It is covered with... You want to share something with the class, Mr. Miltonberger?
No, I think we're fine. I think things are going great.
It is covered in warts and moles. It is said that the squonk is so hideous that it constantly cries because of its own ugliness, because it's aware of how ugly it is.
Okay, I can't just picture it being like, "Oh God!"
Is that your skunk cry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God! Why am I in Pennsylvania? Why is my skin so loose? I look like Lindsay Lohan!
Hot take, Lindsay Lohan is a squonk.
Oh, actually, Lindsay Lohan's very pretty. Just stick with it, y'all. We know she's a lot prettier than I am. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. Just stick with it for the bit, okay?
It is also known that the squonk is not a smart creature at all. In fact, it is described as being very dumb.
Same. Mood. Maybe I am the squonk. You like that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
The squonk is nocturnal because it moves about at night when nobody is likely to see it and when there is less chance of it happening upon a pool of water in which it can see its own reflection.
Oh, that's sad.
It is said that on moonlit nights they prefer to hide in their burrows, softly crying to themselves rather than venturing out and risking seeing themselves in a moonlit pool.
Oh my gosh, this is actually a really sad story. Like, it's fun to make fun of, but it's actually really sad. That's
It
like,
is.
this is the most emo cryptid
Please, can somebody take a picture of Squonk, but, like, give it the emo bangs?
The Squonk's working at Hot Topic, okay? You already know the Squonk is working at Hot Topic.
Can I help you find a My Chemical Romance t-shirt?
The night will be the night.
They used to live over vast areas of the United States, mostly in high plateaus, but gradually moved to wooded and swampy areas because they're more shady.
Okay, so they can't see the reflection in the shade? Or?
It's a little darker.
Okay.
During the daytime.
They like the dark. Okay, yes.
And because they moved into swamps, they have adapted into being semi-aquatic creatures.
Ooh, okay. There you go. There's talent. She's semi-aquatic. Okay. We stand. The
Squonk, it is said, has grown webbing on its left feet, but only on its left feet.
So it's just swimming in circles, bitch.
Because of this and their low mental ability, they are prone to swim in endless circles until they starve to death and drown.
Oh, so she's really not smart. It's giving like lemmings. Aren't lemmings stupid like that?
In fact, thousands of Squonk bones can be found at lake bottoms because they just swim in circles and drown.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Mom, I can't get out of the circle. Don't worry, I'm coming. Oh no, I'm in the circle too.
It's like the saddest NASCAR race you've ever seen in your life.
But I imagine it's a really small circle.
Oh yeah, it's like, you made another left turn and another left. Have you ever seen that meme about NASCAR? Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, NASCAR's pretty sad itself, but this is even
you
sadder.
have to think that they're about the size of a bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine like an ugly, hairless bulldog with saggy skin, just swimming in a circle.
Gosh, that's crazy. That's so wild.
You're probably wondering, how do you catch a Squonk?
The lumberjacks, of course. Like you
well,
said.
no, because they're very elusive. But, well, not quite. They are very easy to track because you can follow the sound of their sobbing. And also, they leave a trail of tears behind them. They cry so hard.
It's like a snail trail, but tears.
Yes.
That's gross. Oh my gosh.
Now, it is best to track them on moonlit nights when you can track them to their burrows because they're hiding out. And they can't run away anywhere.
Okay.
Tracking them is easy, but catching them is very hard.
Well, just get like a My Chemical Romance t-shirt like you said.
Well, no, because when they're cornered and frightened, they will dissolve into a puddle of tears.
Bitch. What? This is giving like Dobby a little bit. I feel like a Squonk kind of looks like Dobby from Harry Potter.
A little bit.
Yeah, they're like gross and elfish and like... Yeah, I feel like a Squonk would probably look like Dobby. And dissolving into a puddle of tears, like, this is just like the saddest
That just
cryptid.
sounds like you after prom.
Honestly. No, prom for me was fine. Like, of course I had to go with girls or whatever.
You should have just run with the joke. You just had to prove something.
What? I went to prom.
Prom was fun. I went with girls, but it was fun.
I said it was fine. It wasn't anything crazy.
It was fine. It was fun. Everything's fine. I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things that could have made it better. But, you know, it was a good time, you know? We had a good time, you know?
Yeah. I know you probably wish you had a 5'5" twink to... We're going to just leave that hanging.
Okay, yeah. I wish I had a Squonk to use.
What is with you in using cryptids as flesh jacks?
Well, I feel like the Pugwudgie and the Squonk are in the same vein, as they're, like, kind of fleshlight shaped. And they would be... And the Squonk actually comes with his own loop, like I keep saying, the tears. So it's like... Guys, am I wrong? Like, are we using the Squonk? Why would we not use the Squonk, okay? And maybe it would cheer it up a little bit, you know? And be like, I know I'm crying, but I'm having a good time.
I'm not on board with this.
Fine, whatever.
So they do dissolve into a puddle of tears, but also this is how they reproduce. They reproduce asexually. Their tear puddles form baby squonks, which are called squinks.
Squink. Okay, Squink is kind of cute.
Yeah.
I love a Squink. I need a little Squink stuffed animal. Like, someone needs to capitalize on this. I need a Squink stuffed animal.
You know it's probably just going to be a smaller version of the ugly creature.
Yeah, probably, but it'll be cute. I want a Squonk stuffed animal, too. Like, we need this. We need the plushies. Where are the Squonk plushies, okay?
We'll look it up after this. Or maybe we'll capitalize on it.
Maybe.
Now, while it is hard to catch, it is not impossible. The best way to catch one is by mimicking its sobs to lure it towards you.
Ooh, okay. And you shouldn't have a problem doing that.
Damn it, I was just about to say that to you.
Because you're crying all the time.
I know, like I said, I've been squonking every night this week.
Oh my god.
Mr. J.P. Wentling, formerly of Pennsylvania, managed to capture one in this way and then trapping it in a sack. As he made his way home, he could feel the squonk wiggling in the sack and hearing it sobbing until he reached home, when the wiggling and sobbing stopped and the sack became light. When he opened it, he found nothing but a little pool of tears and bubbles. Could you imagine, like, carrying a squonk all that way, like 5 miles, 10 miles?
But then, that's how they reproduce, too. So I feel like if he let it out, he would get a bunch of squinks.
So it, like, the pool that it dissolves into when it's sad doesn't form more. Like, some people say, like, that's when they form. But other people said, like, their little pools of tears, like, as they're going along, form squinks.
Okay,
So either it, like, just forms, like, from its sobbing, or it's like a phoenix where it just goes, and a squink pops up.
The saddest phoenix you've ever seen in your life. The saddest, ugliest phoenix.
Which makes you think, is the phoenix and the squonk cousins? Because the phoenix is a bird that reproduces through fire. But the squonk is a land animal that reproduces through water.
Or are they mortal enemies?
I think the squonk is its own mortal enemy.
Honestly, same. We're our own worst enemies here on the pod.
I'm not even being mean. I just think it hates itself so much.
Honestly, same. This is, relatable.
Now, another person who captured it was Paul Bunyan and his big blue ox, Babe.
The big blue ox?
You never heard of Paul Bunyan and his big blue ox, his giant blue ox?
Oh, Babe? I've heard of it, yeah. The Squonk's got a lumberjack fetish. He first showed himself to the lumberjacks. Paul Bunyan's a lumberjack. He's got a lumberjack fetish, for sure.
He might, especially after this. Now, Paul Bunyan was working felling trees in an area when he heard distant sobbing. Him and Babe followed the sound and found the squonk, who quickly dissolved. He decided that it would be best to move the squonk, and so the next day, he mimicked the squonk's cries until he was able to trap it in a bag, and he and Babe took him to a safer part of the forest where the squonk wouldn't be hurt or have his habitat destroyed around him.
Oh, that's actually a cute story. That's nice.
What did you think, like, Paul Bunyan was just gonna, like, make a squonk coat?
Oh, I thought he was gonna use the fuck out of that squonk. I thought he was gonna absolutely just use that squonk and
You've been, like, watching too many of those lumberjack cartoons where the guys are, like, ridiculously beefy and their wee-wees are too big to be anatomically correct.
Listen, what I do in my free time is my business, okay? I'm just getting back in touch with my heritage and my culture, okay? I come from the woods and the mountains, so that's just getting back in touch with my heritage and my culture.
You ever cut down a tree?
Yes. I used to help my dad cut down trees and chop wood.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. And it was the most miserable thing in my life because we had a wood burning furnace for a while. Miserable. Chopping wood, awful. Stacking the wood, awful. Carrying it inside for the furnace, awful. Would not recommend.
And that's why your parents had another son, to try and get the one they always wanted.
Well, they already had both of us before we got the wood furnace. What?
You gonna squonk about it?
Yeah.
Okay, go squonk about it. Now, you're probably asking, if this creature is so ugly and it's hard to catch and, like, it just weeps all the time, why would you want to catch a squonk?
So you can use it as a fleshlight. I keep saying the obvious here.
Well, squonks, like, their preferred food are herbs and plants that were used for healing and for magic. You know, like the healing women of old. And due to their ability of dissolving, they can easily slip through farmers' fences. So, like, there's no protecting your herbs. So, it would classify them as pests.
They're a pest.
They're a pest.
This is just... It keeps getting sadder.
It is also said that the squonk's tears have magical properties that are of value to magicians and alchemists.
Period.
I don't know what they do, but apparently they do something. Wouldn't it be ironic if they were used in beauty potions?
That would be kind of ironic.
Like, I can just imagine, like, we need the tear of a squonk to make you beautiful.
But that's also kind of poetic, too. I feel like, honestly, I'm here for it. I'm here for using the tears of a squonk for, like, beauty potions and things.
We should ask Demi Moore.
Demi Moore?
Yeah.
Why?
Because maybe squonk's tears were in the substance.
Maybe. Which the substance was a crazy movie.
It was crazy.
If you saw that shit was crazy. I saw that shit in theater. I was like, oh my god. I had to sit in my car for like 10 minutes after that movie and just kind of process what had happened to me.
Is it Demi Moore or Demi Moore?
Bitch, I don't know.
I've heard both. Right below, is it Demi or Demi? Now, the squonk first came to prominence in 1910 in the book Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods by William T. Cox. Big Billy Cox.
I'm sorry, what?
You know how, like, Billy is a nickname for William?
Oh, okay.
Big Billy Cox.
That'd be a good drag name for a drag king.
Billy Cox.
Big Billy Cox.
Big Billy Cox. Maybe you can become a drag king and use that name.
No.
Yeah, you don't really have the physique for it. Anyways, Cox gave the squonk the scientific name Lacrimacorpus dissolvens, which is from the Latin words meaning tears, body, and to dissolve, for a rough translation of body dissolves from crying.
Interesting.
The squonk story was expanded by Henry Tryon in his 1939 book Fearsome Critters. Tryon describes squonk's call as a low note of pleading, somewhat resembling the call of the cross-feathered snee.
What the fuck's a cross-feathered snee?
I think it's another made-up creature like the squonk.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to look into that. We'll look into that and get back to y'all, okay?
That's my squonk call.
Okay.
Would you like to do yours again?
No, I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah, I think you've done enough for us.
That's also the sound Paul makes while listening to All Too Well, 10-minute version, Taylor's version, at 3 o'clock in the morning after one too many glasses of I don't even know what.
Usually just whatever boxed wine is handy.
That Lake Effect Red.
That Lake Effect Red is my go-to for sure.
I know it is.
Shout out to the Johnson Estate Winery up in Erie. That Lake Effect Red really gets me together. Thank you for putting that in a box. You're really doing God's work up there, and I appreciate it. Yeah, but
I wonder if they ever encountered the squonk in their vineyard.
Maybe. But one thing about me is I do be crying to All Too Well, 10-minute version, Taylor's version, from the vault, of course. But, that short movie, oh my god, it gets me every time. Y'all need to pause this and go over to your good old YouTube. If you're driving, close your eyes, take your hand off the wheel, go over to YouTube, and play.
Paul, stop telling them to close their eyes while driving. They can't see the video if they close their eyes.
That's true. Now, go ahead and go watch Taylor's version of All Too Well 10-minute version, okay? Get into it.
Now, despite its own self-hatred, the Squonk has become a beloved cryptid admired by many for its apparently adorable sadness.
It does kind of give, like, cute. Like, that's why I want a stuffed animal of it. I feel like it would be such a cute little stuffed animal.
It's so... it's like the world's ugliest dog competition.
Yeah.
They're so ugly, they're cute again.
Exactly. And people love ugly little dogs. And
yes.
I don't know why. I hate ugly little dogs. I'm not fucking with that. Okay. I'll do a little Yorkie or whatever. But other than that, we're not really fucking with those ugly little dogs.
Now, the Squonk is mentioned in the Steely Dan song Any Major Dude Will Tell You.
Ah, yes, Steely Dan. I know that one well, brother. Pour me a Bud Light as I'm listening to my Steely Dan, for sure, brother.
I'm going to be honest, I had heard of Steely Dan. I had never actually heard a Steely Dan song before I looked this one up to listen to it.
Yeah, I've never heard Steely Dan either.
Well, we're not going to play it. But I will say, read the lyric, and it is, have you ever seen a Squonk's tears? Well, look at mine. The people on the street have all seen better times.
Okay. It's a pretty good lyric.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute. She's doing something.
And the Squonk is also the subject of the progressive rock group Genesis in their song Squonk.
Very on the nose.
Which details the capture of a squonk in a bag. And you want to hear a fun fact?
Sure.
This song came out shortly after former lead singer, Peter Gabriel had left the band. And it was with this song that drummer Phil Collins auditioned to become the new lead singer, which led to him to a prolific musical career. Namely, composing all the songs for Disney's Tarzan.
So you're saying the Squonk inspired Tarzan.
What I'm saying is, the Squonk is a Disney princess.
The Squonk
is a Disney princess!
That is something I will get behind. Damn it. Okay, I'm falling for DJ's propaganda, guys. Form your own opinions and do your research. But also at the same time, the Squonk is a Disney princess, and I will be getting behind that.
If you haven't fallen for any of my propaganda, be your own judge by going to the Squonkapalooza in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which celebrates the squonk and other unique Appalachian cryptids and creatures.
Period. And Johnstown isn't that far.
No, it's like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Ooh.
We should look up when Squonkapalooza is and make an appearance.
Girl, clock me at Squonkapalooza.
We might be able to get you your plush.
Yes, clock me at the Squonkapalooza, okay? I'm gonna be there having a good old time. Trust and believe.
Also, I think our merch store now includes Demdike rewards cards.
Oh, the Demdike rewards card, yes, that's a throwback.
And t-shirts that say the Squonk is a Disney princess.
The Squonk is a Disney princess. We do need to make that t-shirt. Oh my gosh.
I'll come up with it.
Yes, and Squonk jock straps.
Oh my god, what is with you and Crips and Corkies jock straps?
We need to make, it is our brand, I feel like it's very our brand. We need Crips and Corks jock straps. We need Crips and Corks underwear. We need t-shirts. We need crop tops, okay? We need buttons. We need phone chargers.
We have buttons.
Yeah, but we need more buttons. You know that song by Shakira? It's called Empire.
Oh.
That should be our inspiration. Make our own empire. Capitalize on the things. Just like Sir Yacht wearing those awful t-shirts he makes in every one of his videos.
We should ask him where he gets them, because they're probably cheap, and that's our budget.
Okay, low-key though, I do love Sir Yacht on YouTube. Again, if you're driving,
take your hands off the wheel, pick up the phone, watch a YouTube video.
Yes, go watch Sir Yacht on YouTube.
Go watch him eat 1 million glizzies over the course of 24 hours.
It's just wholesome content for the people, and I'm here for
it.
It
is actually kind of wholesome.
Yeah, he's very wholesome, and he's also very cute.
Yes.
Yeah, we stand Sir Yacht.
And he's a Catholic. I wonder what he thinks of the new Pope.
I'm sure he's in love with the Pope. Okay, like, he's giving basic straight boy, for sure. But at the
He
end of the
gives
day,
big bi energy, honestly.
a little bit.
Paul, any final thoughts on the Squonk?
I want the stuffed animal. I have come around a little bit to the Squonk.
Just a little.
I would love to see Squonks unionize at the Hot Topic, of course. So they get fair pay when they're working at Hot Topic and crying, because that's probably the only place that's going to hire them. I do relate to their love for lumberjacks. That's just something I love. And I do love a night in, after I've had a couple glasses of wine, I start my Taylor Swift songs on the YouTube and I just cry, you know? So it's very relatable to me in that manner. I can relate to the Squonk in these things.
Okay, I just came up with another t-shirt.
Okay.
I'll be your Squonk if you be my lumberjack.
Period. And you know what? Get into it. Maybe one day we'll have a t-shirt shop and you guys can buy all of our crazy
One day.
ideas.
I will say we both want it and we're looking into it.
Mm-hmm. We're looking into a lot of things, though. We got a lot of things going on.
You know what? We should, though. Speaking of the Demdike rewards card. Actually, we could do that.
What is the Demdike rewards card even going to do? That's like from our second episode.
I know, but it's still such a good joke.
Yeah, it is a good joke.
Real people know.
Yeah.
Real fans know.
If you're an OG, you know what the Demdike rewards card is.
We'll design it on a business card, you know, like the punch cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not like the design we came up for the meme, but like a punch card.
I just don't know what people would get for the...
We can make it as a sticker.
T.
I do love a good sticker.
Yeah, stickers are nice. I like a good sticker.
Are those all of your final thoughts, Paul?
Yes.
All right, then I have one final question for you. Speaking of hideous creatures, smash or pass, J.D. Vance.
Oof. Yikes, we're gonna pass, okay?
Yeah.
We're passing.
Fucking couches. Terrible guy liner. Terrible.
Yeah.
Killing Pope Francis. Not a vibe.
Yeah.
Not even to talk about the racism, the misogyny, the supporting of fascism.
Yeah, we're not standing J.D. Vance. Now, before I knew about him, and I watched that Hillbilly Eulogy movie, I liked that movie before I knew about J.D. Vance.
Do you know what's... the woman who played the grandmother, Glenn Close. Love Glenn Close.
Mm-hmm.
She gave an interview shortly, after the election. And she played his grandma in the movie. And so she had met him, and she talked with him a lot. And somebody said, did you meet him during that? What do you know about him? What can you tell us about, him then? And she said, I don't want to talk about him then. All I want to say is, I want to know what happened to him. Because back then, he was a very nice, personable guy who just had these terrible life experiences and wanted to make life better for other people. And now he seems just hell-bent on ruining other people's lives.
Yeah, he got money and got in the pockets of those billionaires, and here we are today, kids. Now, I will say, that Hillbilly Eulogy movie, it did touch me, because, coming from the Appalachian Mountains, and, a town that's just been ravaged by the drug epidemic and everything, I did relate to that movie. I guess it goes back to separating the art from the artist.
Yes.
Yep, separating the art from the artist. Do you have any other thoughts?
No, I love the Squonk. I think it's a fabulous story. It, not to, ruin anyone's, vibe. It's probably made up.
Oh, yeah. It's giving fairy tale.
It's very fairy tale. And, if there's so little on it, I mean, those two books I mentioned are, the main sources. And then there's, cryptid wikis. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much it. This is probably... We tried to make this a decently long episode with our banter.
Right.
But, there wasn't a whole lot of information.
Honestly, I feel though, this is one of the more fun cryptids. It's just a fun story.
It is fun. It doesn't hurt anyone. It doesn't scare anyone.
Right.
In fact, it's more scared of you than you are of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's scared of seeing itself in the mirror, which I relate to.
Yeah. But it was just something really fun coming out of John Wayne Gacy to sort of reset the palette, and we'll do something spooky again next week.
Yeah, and it was nice because I definitely had a lot of thoughts I wanted to get out. So having an episode like this where I could talk more and just talk about random shit.
Because you are so restrained in your talking on the podcast.
Well, what I mean is, like, not talk, things that don't relate to the topic.
Oh, okay. About other things. Okay.
Yeah, I had a lot of other things I wanted to talk about, and, like, on normal episodes, I can't really talk about them. So on this episode, I was able to talk more about random shit I wanted to let the people know.
This is the episode that everyone thinks that, like, we've broken up. This is, like, the post-breakup post.
The post-breakup.
Because we have been dragging each other this episode.
Yeah, we have. But if you can't make fun of your friends, who can you make fun of?
We are nice to each other sometimes.
Yeah. It's
most of the times.
Fun to make fun of your friends.
It's kind of like saying the word fuck. It's an easy laugh.
Exactly.
It's a cheap laugh. Well, I think that's it. Please like, subscribe, follow wherever you are listening. If you would like to text us, if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere else that it is audible, go into the description below, hit that text us link, and you can shoot us a message with your thoughts. If you're listening on YouTube and you want to do that, just go on Spotify, look us up, hit us on the link, and message us. You can also DM us on any of our social media, which is all linked below. It's linked below.
Yep. Get your tickets to our live show. Come see everything we caught at Gettysburg. Come laugh with us. Learn a little bit about Gettysburg. And don't worry, we will be talking about Jenny Wade and her bread. Don't worry.
And if you have your own personal stories, please email us at our email address below. Paul, where can they find you?
You can find me at my personal Instagram and TikTok at Paulember, Paulember. And as usual, guys, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno.
And if you'd like to follow me, you can do so on TikTok and on Instagram at TheRealDeejPowers. And until next time, folks, keep your crips tight.
And your corks loose. Bye! Dad, it's not a phase, Dad! Dad, it's not a phase! Tonight will be the night that I will fall for you ever again!